KTAR, Eyes on Parenting.
Kids these days, am I doing enough? Am I doing too much? This is KTAR's Eyes on Parenting. I'm Corbin Carson, and today we're talking about New Year's resolutions, specifically for the younger children. Brought along an expert with me. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Dr. Allison Steyer. I'm Director of Mental Health Services at Southwest Human Development.
All right, so let's start with the very basic question. This is the time of year when people start making changes and thinking about what they want to do different in their life, and nothing helps that happen for some than the changing of the calendar year called New Year's resolutions. First off, how do you feel about New Year's resolutions? Is this important for something for children to learn?
Not a fan of New Year's resolutions particularly, because I'm not a fan of failing. But I do think that it is useful for children to have goals, for families to have goals as a family, and for those to be kind of tracked over the year, so that every day you're trying to do the best that you can, and that it's okay to miss a day, to make mistakes, but you're still moving as an individual and as a family toward something, toward a vision.
Let's break down that failing part. People are driving down the road. They think, hey, this is a good idea. Our family could move towards a new direction. What do you mean by failing? Obviously, everybody's going to fail at something. Do you mean more about the goals that they're setting?
I mean, if it's a once-a-year thing, and you say, this year I'm going to do it, and then a month from then you find that you're not doing it, that's a terrible feeling and not particularly motivating. If on a weekly basis you sit with your children and you think together about ideas that you have for your family and how we're doing and what it takes to achieve those, I think that's a really good lesson for kids.
And what is a good plan for younger kids? What are some things where they could learn, and it doesn't have to specifically be tied to New Year's, but just in general, like you said, setting goals and so forth. Should it be something like doing your chores a little bit better, eating all your food, working on your grades? What kind of things? What kind of goals should parents try to set for kids to teach them this lesson?
I think it depends on the family, but the idea is that you're a member of a team that we call a family. You make a contribution, you're important. So whatever the team needs that a child of a particular age could contribute, I think it's nice to articulate that and then track it over time. It's a really good feeling to feel like you're part of something, that there's belongingness. And so to think about what individual members of the family could contribute and or want for themselves and the family, it could be anything. But the idea is that you have a vision, and that it's a good way to teach children optimism, that are looking forward to something, and also missing sometimes, and being able to manage that because we're family.
What are some things that they could do? I mean, I know you mentioned it doesn't necessarily have to be something that is this year I'm going to do it, and then now I've set myself up for failure. What if it's something like volunteering or saving money? Is this a good time to teach them those sorts of things?
Yeah, I mean, if those are values that you have, then you want to actually show that. So you can enlist children in all kinds of ways of helping from very young ages, helping neighbors, helping other family members, helping the family by being, thoughtful about where your toys are, or any kind of contribution, I think is really good, and good preparation for eventually being outside of the family and feeling part of a larger neighborhood, community, society, where you feel responsible for making a contribution.
I got a great question for you, just came to me. What is the appropriate structure you should put on a child? Let's say I'm trying to teach my just about to be 4-year-old how to complete a task. I can't be like, you do this, you're grounded. You don't do it, you don't. What is the appropriate? You want them to do whatever that task is properly, but you want to also recognize that they're 4 and their attention span is. So what is that appropriate range for teaching a young child to accomplish something yet not overbearing?
It actually is a great question. That's something that we call scaffolding. So scaffolding, it means that you have a task and it's slightly out of the child's range to do by themselves, but with some support they can get there. And that's how you grow. And it's a great way to grow because it means that you stretch, but you do it with support as opposed to being thrown in the deep end and say, figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, there's a consequence. So it's that monitoring what children can do and what it would take for them to do just a little bit more. So you support that. Now they have that. And you start from there. Where can they go from there with just a little more support?
Perfect. Well, there you have it. This has been KTAR's Eyes on Parenting. I'm Corbin Carson, father of 4, 2 in college, one's in 1st grade, one's working her way into preschool, I think. Chances are I'm facing a question you're facing. If so, hit me up on Twitter. Maybe I can help. I'd like to thank Dr. Allison for joining us. We'll see you next time, folks.